Hello, you guys, and welcome to the yard. I am so excited to be sitting down here talking about today's episode. Hey, Miss Queen Libra. Hey, Amaya. Hello, darling. What's up? Ready to
Hey,
Y'all, today I was like, damn, like the words that was leaving my mouth today, I was like, I can't even stand how upset and angry Finn is with his bed donor mama. Um,
I
hey,
was like,
son,
goodness,
he
goodness.
said, bitch, I will choke the life out of you in this room. Lordy had his hands around his throat. The way he was just struggling to get a good grip on it, I was like, if he locked them fingers, it's over. He gonna lock his
It,
fingers on her throat, it's gonna be over.
it was go time. Finn was like, you know what? I'm not willing to just throw her to the side and run out the door. Oh no, we're not doing that. I'm
No.
ready to put her down.
He said, bitch, you got to pay for what you did to my real mama. You got to pay for whatever you did to my wife. You got to pay for having me up in this damn room away from my kids. Bitch, you just got to pay today.
You got to pay for it all.
It was
And right
Mike's
now,
react. It was Mike's reaction the whole time for me. Mike was like, You're not bringing me down with the cops when they come in here and come get you. I'm out."
Mike said he done been
mhm,
compromised. He got to move to a whole nother state and be Richard all over again.
yes. It is. Oh, hey,
Yeah,
Amaya,
I'm
Stefan, and
very
Queen
disappointed.
Libra. With what?
I, I am disappointed in Mike running off and
Oh,
leaving
okay.
Sheila just to fend for herself.
Girl, eventually these men are gonna run off. Finn, well, Mike is still in the committed club, but he said, "Damn it, I done did all I can do, and if you don't come on and run off with me, then I'm just gonna leave you here by yourself."
Here's
Because
the
it
thing.
seemed like Mike is gone. It seemed like Mike
I
made his mind up today and he is out of there and Sheila is on her own. That's why she ran the deacon.
he may have, but here's the thing. I said it on Twitter and I say it right now. Sheila got that ashtray energy. Okay? She got that last stand at the Alamo energy. This has already gone beyond the point of it being salvageable, and to reasonable people, this is very obvious. But she don't see it that way. I've never seen my baby so enraged. Help
Right.
her.
Never
You
seen
Right.
shot
my
It
his
was so
baby,
good though.
period.
you
It was
shot
so
his
good.
wife. You killed his mama. What the hell you mean you ain't never, has anybody else ever shot his wife or killed his mama? What did you expect, honey?
Listen, y'all, I don't know about y'all, but
Mm.
I absolutely love watching Sheila in her delusional state. I am
It's entertaining.
enthralled with it. I so
It is
fucking
entertaining.
love what Sheila did today when she was saying, um, you get so worked up. You know what I'm saying? It was like she was almost saying like, damn, my child is just like me, hard to handle. But I felt her. I feel like I maybe it's just because I really love Sheila. Sheila, in her own sick way, really does love Finn. And Kimberlyn Barnes Brown is really bringing that out to me. She's really showing that she is sick. She is, but in her sick way, she really loves him. She is not trying to hurt Finn, and she means it. She
See,
means it.
And that's the thing. In her head, she's just doing what she has to do to protect Finn. But the thing is, in Sheila's world, everybody but the object of her obsession is collateral damage, and it's all good.
Exactly.
But that's the exact opposite of how that works for other people. Like, you can't tell me you love me and that, but you're fine with offing my wife, and you're double fine with offing the woman who raised me from my her entire life, and then expect
Right.
me to still be capable of forming a relationship with you, and for us to have a relationship as a mother and as a son.
But here
Sheila
she went
can't
too
see
far.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
she went
gone
too
too
far.
far.
I mean, after all the things that Steffi told him that she did, he was still willing to try, not against Steffi's wishes, but he was still willing to try to work her into goodwill with the family. That wasn't good enough for her. So the thing is that Finn probably realizes, like everybody else, that Sheila is fine as long as you tell her yes to everything she wants. But the
Mm-hmm.
moment you tell her no and you deny her anything she wants, murder is an option for her. It's on the
Exactly.
table.
She
And
loses
that's
her damn mind.
and it's what
Exactly.
makes her so dangerous. It's why it's the very bedrock. Oh, hey, Can. It's the very bedrock of why Sheila being in your life is too dangerous.
Yes, that's
It's
what
the
Steffi.
heart.
That's what
Yes,
Steffi kept telling Finn. He
exactly. And
didn't. He had to see for himself, but that's exactly what she was trying to tell him.
it is hard to explain Sheila's particular brand of crazy to someone who's never experienced it. So I never faulted Finn for that. I mean, at worst, you think maybe you just have somebody who's a little interfering. Maybe they just don't understand boundaries. Maybe they're just incredibly intrusive and just don't know how to back off. But Sheila is a different set of problem. She is someone that when she feels like what she wants is being kept from her or she's being kept from it, she goes into elimination mode. And she doesn't care who it is as long as it's not the object of obsession.
Now she does try. Sheila
She
does
does.
try to walk the normal path, the path that's most beaten, but she ultimately always fails. I mean, when people say that Sheila does love and Sheila is not that bad, it's because it's true in a way. It's true because it's kind of heartbreaking because the only reason why Sheila is the way she is because something is not right with her.
Something's
There's a real
broken in
problem.
her.
So it's kind of sad. I love Sheila. So y'all could probably tell I love Sheila's
Well,
dirty
no,
draws.
I've always adored the character of Sheila just because, like I said, she makes shit happen. And also on CBS, we do not have villains anymore. Okay, we lost a lot of villains along the way because they tend to kill them. So we don't get to keep people who actually meet the qualifier to be considered an actual villain. The closest thing we got to a villain on YNR right now is Ashton Locke, and that's pure bullshit. So he ain't
Yeah,
gonna.
we got to
That
talk
sounds
about
like
that too,
trash.
though, at some
Oh,
point.
we,
We
we,
got to
we
make
are going to talk about that later.
restless.
So I appreciate Sheila for what she is. She is a classic um, soap
Villainess.
villainess that is timeless, that never gets old. But in the same tone that she's a villainess, because of what she does, in the consequences of what she does. Because let's be honest, but for a twist of fate and how things worked out, Steffi would be dead. Finn would be dead, and Lee would be dead. There would be three dead bodies strewn all over LA because Sheila couldn't have what she wanted. And
Mm-hmm.
people,
That's my girl.
Well, you know what though? If she had her way, she wouldn't have shot Finn. She would have
no,
shot
she wouldn't have.
and Finn would have walked in and probably would have beat her to death in that alley then. And then, well, actually, she probably would have ended up shooting Finn because how else was she gonna get him off of her? Now
Yeah,
it
she wasn't going. That wasn't going to happen.
that
If
wasn't gonna
Finn would
happen.
have caught her in that alley, with that gun,
Yeah,
After he done
he would
shot
have
Steffi and
attacked
killed
her.
her, mm-mm.
right?
Yeah, he would have attacked her, and she would have shot him anyway, and been like, "I didn't mean to do it. If only you hadn't come after me first. I'm
Right.
so sorry." Yeah,
Yeah, y'all remember that foolishness when everybody was accused, saying Steffi was to blame for getting shot because she followed Sheila into
Sheila.
the
Yeah,
alley.
yes, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, that just brought that up to me. It just made me bitter all over again.
Well, it was ridiculous because one, the bottom line is this is the thing. When Sheila showed her face in August of last year, we all knew what came to pass in April was always going to happen.
That's right.
That
We just didn't
moment,
know who.
exactly, that moment was written in stone. That as soon as it was revealed that Sheila was officially Steffi's mother-in-law, because she was Finn's biological mother, it was already a done deal that Sheila and Steffi were going to tangle, and somebody was going to come away from there with a fatal wound
Hmm.
because
That's
she
right.
wasn't
And
because she
say and
wasn't going to
Taylor
back
saved
down.
Steffi because Steffi was on the list way sooner. Because if it wasn't for Taylor coming in and inviting her for Christmas, Sheila would have went off then.
I concur with that. I concur that yes, this bomb would have gone off much sooner had Taylor not made the case for, opening the door crack and letting Sheila squiggle in to see if maybe, just maybe, she actually had reformed, that she actually had changed. The sad part is that all Sheila ended up doing was proving that the original instincts that people were using to evaluate her were not wrong.
Right.
Because
And Finn said that. Finn said that. He finally saw that she's never gonna change, and that's that. So listen.
mm,
I don't know what my favorite part of this today was, because there were so many damn favorite parts. So many.
Down. Oh, I had too many. I'm just waiting. I'm
well,
waiting.
I can start with the mild part because I have a feeling we agree on the unmild parts. Two things I will bring up. One, I officially am lobbying for Wyatt and Liam to stop working at Spencer and go open a detective agency or something, because they do comedy really well. I think they need to let them do that from now on.
Darling, it's funny you brought up the Spencer brothers because I have a prediction about them that I like to share if y'all want to hear later.
Let's
Sure,
go.
go for it.
Oh, y'all want me to tell you now?
Yeah.
Yeah, honey, go ahead.
Okay, so I was thinking that maybe the new triangle that's going to happen, besides the one that I think is going to happen between Ridge, Taylor, and Deacon, I think it's going to be the Spencer brothers and Hope.
I
Because
would have no objection to that.
it's gonna come out something about this baby. Something about this baby is gonna come out, and I don't know if it has to do with the predictions that's been going around for over a year on somebody else's page that we all know. But it's gonna come out, and it would be so fun to watch them two brothers go at it.
Well, we
for
done seen
the
that. It would not be fun for me. I saw that shit already, and I would not be interested in a second iteration of hot versus low.
Well, I don't have anything against Hot and Lope. I don't have anything against Hot and Lope fighting with each other. They can. I would prefer they not change Beth's paternity, because I don't want Liam and focusing on Kelly, because that turned out to be his only child. He could stay his ass focused on the child he care about right now, Beth. He could stay there.
Right. He can go and adopt Douglas if he wants to at this
And
point.
who
I mean,
knows?
don't seem like.
You said adopt Douglas.
Well, yeah. I mean, they don't seem to be caring about Thomas.
Yeah, that should be next on Taylor's agenda to help her son get his son back with him where he rightfully belongs. Like,
Right.
I mean, honestly, that's actually the fringe benefit of Lope having problems. That hopefully somebody would suggest, maybe, this is the perfect fairyland y'all got in hand, so perfect, and Douglas needs to be back with his daddy. That would actually be a great fringe benefit to me. I'm not personally invested in how what happens with Lope, but yeah, I would be like to see Douglas back with his Poe.
With Thomas, exactly. It's robbery at this point for me that is still being allowed to just sit like that for no reason. It's just bullshit. But yeah, I would not want to see Hope and Liam and Wyatt, but if they do it, I could care less. I mean, it just wouldn't be entertaining for me. Now, going back to my favorite parts of the show, there were so many. But when the opening scene, when Finn got out that bed and told Sheila that he was going to give, she'd been earning it for a long time, and he was going to make her pay, I like to die. I mean, I like to die dead in my seat. The way he cornered her against that wall. I don't think I've ever seen Sheila so
Shook.
vulnerable. Exactly. She looked vulnerable. And I don't think I've ever seen her in that position, because even when Sheila's vulnerable, you still see her rage. You don't really see the vulnerability. You know she is, but you don't see it. But I saw it today. I love those two together in scenes. I need to keep Sheila. I need to keep her.
I want to keep her too.
I agree with the suggestion that was floated on Twitter. She need to have the same setup Ryan got on GH.
GH, exactly. Where we can still have Sheila, and whoever visits her, they might be unwitting, accomplices in her scheme some way or the other.
Honestly, this would be a very good time to recast Erica Lovejoy, so her daughter could be on set being starting shit. But of course, far be it for the powers that be to listen to us about everything.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even mind, because Wyatt needs a woman.
He got one.
Now I don't. No, she don't exist. That thing does not exist.
You know what I would love though, if they really wanted to make Flo interesting, for me anyway, is they would have single white femaled her and Hope. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and even after her coming back and getting, approval from the family and everything, I still needed her to go after Hope's life. I needed her to be forgiven and full of envy and jealousy. I needed for her to get the family name just like they did and welcome Stormy's little girl. The only thing that we have left of Stormy is this little girl and her kidney in Katie's body. Stormy's little girl. We've got Stormy's little girl. I needed Stormy's little girl to be welcomed by the family and to slowly chip away at Hope's life. While Hope is sitting there screaming, this bitch is doing it to me again. Y'all don't see it in the family going, well, Hope, she's just trying to get to know you. She's just trying to make up for what she did. No, that bitch is trying to steal her life. She done infiltrated Hope for the future. She done made better macrame clothes than Hope was making. She got Wyatt singing her praises. She got Liam singing her praises. Bill Spencer singing
Bill even.
she's the antithesis of Hope. And Hope, the only person who sees it is Hope, and it drives her crazy.
I agree.
Oh, you mean kind of like Allie a little bit, but Allie was kind of out there with it. Like everybody knew she was kind of crazy.
Allie didn't want Steffi's life. Allie wanted to kill Steffi because she wanted Liam and Hope together. And
Right.
she felt like Steffi was some sort of evil
Right.
to take it. No, I want Flo to be. I want her to have the wool pulled over everybody's eyes, and they love her, and she gets the head seat at all the family gatherings. But Hope knows that this woman is out here doing shit, leaving little gumdrops and shit for Liam to find on the floor, because that's the only place they have sex. She leaving little gumdrops for Liam and little hits and shit, and they're like, but no, I think you're just overreacting. I understand why you don't trust her. Your baby.
Wait, what you're talking about is a hopped up version of Gwen from Days that can be integrated.
Girl, whatever the hell it is, that's what I want to see.
You're talking about a hopped up version of Gwen that's integratable and not hated by most of the camp. It's like when Gwen first showed up, if it hadn't been for that shit that happened with Laura and all of that, Gwen could have basically jacked Abby's whole life, except she kind of played herself, so to speak. She did end up sleeping with Abby's husband and getting pregnant, though, even though she lost it, and then she pinned it on Abby. But you're talking about those type of maneuvers, varsity moves.
Right. See, I don't want Liam to be thinking that Hope is sleeping with Thomas because he's seeing the mannequin. I want him in the bed having sex with Flo because she's got on Hope's perfume and he's a little bit drunk and can't see straight. And just like Brooke, he thinks it's Hope. And he bam, thanks you, ma'am. And sleeps with his wife's cousin who just happens to look a little bit like Hope because she just started doing her hair like Hope's. Because girl, I love your hairdresser, so I went to see your hairdresser, and I didn't even think that I would like the same style that you had. But look, it looks so cute. And then I want him to be drunk off of that cheap ass beer they're drinking down there on the wharf, and come home and fall belly up in the bed, farting off of clams and lobster rolls. And Flo rolls down there on the floor with him. Well, no, she gonna roll in the bed with him, which should be his first clue that it ain't Hope, because she gets him in the bed and they roll around.
And he like it.
And he like it. And then they end up making a baby. And now Hope gets to be Liam's stepmama again.
See, that's the problem with this show. They have a habit now that they are afraid to cast an actual vixen who's a vixen to the end. The last person who had vixen vibes was Zoe. And then they killed all that shit off for the most part. It wasn't a lot, but she was willing to play games to get what she wanted with Xander and with Emma. So she had like Vixen light going on. But then instead of them just investing in that full fledged, once they decided they was gonna go ahead and just let her get her head bumped in this whole Thomas is still obsessed with Hope thing, they killed the Vixen vibe off for the most part. Then with Paris, they ain't even tried. Then with Flo, same thing. She came on here taking $50,000 to help traffic a baby, and then all of a sudden she got sprinkled in holy water and re sanctified as a good Logan. But that's the thing. The show don't have no messy ass females to cause chaos on the screen. Because here's the thing, Steffi used to be messy, but she's an adult now. She's outgrown that trope. Okay, she's not fighting with Hope over a worthless ass man like Liam anymore. Thank the heavens. So she's, a grown woman settled in her life as a mother, as a CEO, as a wife.
Paris is on script though. She's still kind of in that younger demographic.
But
Yeah.
Paris ain't no damn vixen. Paris does not got, she ain't got no big nothing energy. Big boring energy is what Paris has these days. They ain't even made her right yet. And as far as Zoe, they should have left her crazy because crazy Zoe had potential. Crazy Zoe
Yes, she
talking
did.
to the damn cat, um, had potential. A crazy Zoe talking about how she was gonna get what that damn cat was name. She's gonna get the cat's daddy back. That was the Zoe that I was interested in. I wanted to know what she had done that made that boy pick up and leave
And
one
one.
continent and flee to a whole other continent and drop his accent and every damn thing. Like I need to know what was it she did that was so bad because they were involved and they were in love and they had been living together and having relations. And she did something that we never found out about.
They dropped it.
That was the story with Zoe. Yeah, they just dropped it and gave her a job modeling, and then just made her normal.
My only reason why I said Paris is because she's on script. And just like Brooke first came on script, she was wearing these sweaters up to her neck, looking like a prude and very down on the farm. And she didn't look like any vixen. Anything with wardrobe and makeup can fix all of those problems. And I'm just saying, she's the only one that's like in that younger demographic who has done a lot. I mean, in her mind, she was seriously trying to rip off Finn's clothes and trying to be with him. She's like fascinated with men who are in relationships. So she has that same type of MO and same type of makeup. She's just in a different body. I'm
She,
just
I'm not saying she doesn't look the part. I'm saying she
I know
doesn't.
Diamond White's gorgeous.
yeah,
But
I know what you're saying. I know
Diamond
what you're saying. I'm just saying they just can change her clothes like they do all the characters when they trying to prove what the character is at that time.
They tried
but
that
the
already.
the
They
I
tried
thing
that.
don't
with
think
Remember,
her clothes is
Paris?
going to make a difference. It's
It's
not
not.
even clothes for me. She
It's
just
not.
doesn't have it.
She looks too young. The girl looks like a child. I really am disgusted when she is on screen across from these 40-year-old men kissing and talking sex. It looks like child pornography to me. It's truly disgusting.
well with
She looks
Paris,
too young. When she came in, she looked like Punky Brewster. We all know it. That she did not look like an adult girl. She looked like a child. Zoe's kid sister with all those damn wild colors she was wearing. Then they tried to sex her up for Carter, and she was wearing short skirts, um, uh, very short skirts, very short skirts. And it didn't work. It still does not work. She's a beautiful young woman. She's just
well, I
not
mean,
a sex vixen, and I love it for her.
well,
She
Diamond
looks
White's
innocent and
like,
young. That's I
well,
think
that's the
that's a
thing.
beautiful
Diamond
quality.
White's like 22, 23 years old. I want to say she's not that old.
Yeah, she's 23.
Exactly, and she looks it. This girl, she's
Mm.
fortunate. She's probably going to be 30 and still looks like a fucking teenager. So
Yeah.
this is no knock to her. It's just that she doesn't look right. She looks out of place among the cast. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there.
The thing
Yeah,
with
I see what you're saying because I agree. And I watched her on Empire. So I know she can be, but even though Empire, it seemed to me like she was a little bit too immature for Lucius, and she was because that man was old enough to be her character's father, and he was actually friends with her character's father. So that was very weird for me. But when we talk about that Vixen vibe, even like she just doesn't have it. Like Esme is not nothing dressing hot over there on General Hospital.
No.
Esme is she's a very conservative young lady. She wears them damn twin set tops, where you got the little top and a little bitty sweater on top of it. Shit, but
She wears long sleeve shirts with button all the way up to the neck.
right.
Now she might
Right.
show her legs. She might show a little leg, but that's
And,
normal
and
for a
we
young
might
woman.
get some arm out of Esme, but it's not the wardrobe, it's the carriage. That
Exactly.
Avery girl, Avery's a fucking 1980s level vixen out here in these streets running game on Nicholas Cassadine.
Exactly. And it doesn't look gross. It looks we know that Nicholas is probably old enough to be her dad. We know that, but it does not look gross on screen. Some people said they thought it looked gross, but I didn't. I thought it looked appropriate for a young woman that was trying to seduce an older man.
And I feel
That's
like
exactly what it looks
about
like.
her age too.
Part of the thing with Paris is this. It's not just wardrobe and hair, okay? Because anybody can fix wardrobe and hair. They can make you look like whatever they want you to look like. Part of it is not just that, it's attitude. Paris does not, the biggest part of being a vixen isn't about being built like a shit brick house or anything like that. Far from it. Because look at Esme, she is not. But she's attractive, but she's not some voluptuous Jessica Rabbit, breathe to life, come to seduce every
She's
man.
not walking around with body suits on and boobs popping out the top.
Right. She's not working the floor in a bodycon dress and just making it pop. What really separates a vixen from the rest of the females in a canvas is attitude and intent. A vixen is always manipulative. They are always pulling people's strings to get what they want. That is what a vixen, that is what at their heart, that is what a vixen is going to do. She's going to see what she wants and she's going to go for it and she's going to pull every string she can find to get that. And Paris don't give that kind of energy. She doesn't give that kind of energy. Not to me anyway.
No, Paris, yeah, she don't. It's something, she's just missing something. And I think what they intended for her to be was the
nice sister.
If they had kept Zoe, I think they were intending to make her the nice sister. She was going to be the Black Hope, just real nice and sweet, and not really exuding a lot of outward sexuality, but still being a sexual being.
Yeah, she probably was supposed to be just like Emma and just like Allie, a hope worshiper, like a young, what do you call them? Those interns, maybe. Maybe that's what they planned out for her, and that maybe would have suited for her to be a young intern looking up to the adults because that's what she looks like.
Yeah, but I just don't. Even with her big job that she's got, it just feels off because that's not who they presented her as when she came aboard.
No.
If they had presented her as the vixen pretending to be this innocent girl, I could have rocked with that. But she never had any type of vixen-ish about her. Right. She came on very holier than thou, very tattletale-y,
judgmental.
Very moral. I'm going to tell Zoe that you are out here cheating on Carter. You've got a great man. I'm going to wreck that relationship. Quinn, I can't believe you're cheating with Carter. I'm going to tell everyone at your renewal ceremony that you've been cheating with Carter. She came on to be the damn Jiminy Cricket, the flawed Jiminy Cricket, because she wasn't outside of anything herself lusting after other folks' men. But that's as far as it went. They just didn't know how to make her look like anything more than the kid sister with a crush on the big sister's man. and she had Steffi as a big sister proxy. And she had her own sister as a proxy her own sister when she came on. So that's how it feels to me. Like she's just the kid sister who's always got a crush on her big sister's man, whoever her big sister is. It ain't even got to be her real big sister, but if they got somebody to stand in that place, then that's what I get off of her. I don't get I'm fixing to go out here and put on this bikini and ask your man to put some suntan lotion on my back.
Right. And keep in mind, and this is the part that the show that we forget with the show sometimes, and they did this, and I hope they never do this shit again, because every time they do something like this, it upsets me. This is a daytime soap, okay? I do not need, and I'm assuming that I'm gonna go ahead and speak for all viewers on this one. I don't need secrets inserted into the plot that never get resolved. I don't need actions that take place that never come to light. You are wasting my time if you do that, and you're pissing the fans off. What I'm saying about that is this: like that whole thing that happened with Finn and Paris, it's as good as if it never happened. Now, granted, that may have colored the audience's opinion of Paris, knowing that she was staying up in her boss's house and having, daydreams about her boss's very married husband who just had a child with her boss. And we all was thinking, well, that's just top jaw trifling, girl. What the hell you doing? But the point is, that never became public knowledge. That all happened in the confines of Paris's mind. Nobody, not even Finn or Steffi, knows that ever took place. So, and nobody ever will. So that's as good as if it had never happened in the first place.
Right. It was just a waste of time to do, I don't know what, I guess a chemistry test that really, I don't even know.
If they wanted to test chemistry, there are 1,000 ways to script something where people have reasons to deal with each other and be around each other for an extended period of time. That was not it.
But whatever reason it was, it did more harm than good, because before Paris went into doing that, I had made up my mind after she had done what she did with the Quinn's vow renewal, that I was going to go ahead and give her a chance, because I hated her always from the day she came through the door. She didn't fit into me. I was like, what the fuck is she going to do on campus? I mean, really. But anyway, did I forget what I was saying? What was I saying, y'all?
You was talking about Paris not fitting into you when she first came in.
But
I was saying that it's more damage was done because of what she did within. Because like you said, it didn't make any impact at all on the story. But every single viewer walked away with that, looking at her with the stank eye. Everyone, because that was trifling.
It's the same thing, and that wasn't the first time the show did it. It was like the 5th time, and I hated it. Same thing with Thomas and Vinny in this pill shit that never came to light, that never had any point of reference involved in any of the story, but does color how you look at the characters. The same thing when they had that pill, or the whole reason Steffi and Liam ended up sleeping together was because Thomas dropped something in Liam's drink. All of this was trifling shit that never needed to happen. It never actually came to light. There were never any consequences for it, but all it did was damage the characters involved and piss people off.
They like doing that though.
I hate it though. It makes me mad.
They like doing that, and they gonna do it again, because they just did it again to Thomas with the whole he didn't tell nobody about the label switch, even though he probably knew all of 72 hours.
Right.
Just like with that damn baby. They did it to him again and made him look like he was the bad guy because he didn't say nothing to nobody when really he
about
was,
a damn bottle.
Right.
That's what it always makes me angry.
Struggling with it. Like, but this is Brooke's issue. What the whole? But then they made it like, well, Thomas, if you hadn't said something about if you hadn't, how Reg wanted to put it, if you hadn't didn't like my wife so much. But they tried to put it on Thomas that Shelia shot Steffi and Finn. Well, if you had said something, then she never would have had the opportunity to shoot Steffi and Finn. Oh, but I thought it was Steffi's fault that she and Finn got shot because she went after Sheila. Now it's Thomas's fault because Thomas didn't say nothing about the label switch. Y'all need to pull it together when you start trying to blame the characters for stuff. And that wasn't even a hole in the plot. That's just not
that
like
was on purpose.
Characters and the show giving them this damn fodder to make them not want to like the characters even more.
Which gets on my nerves because if there's not going to be a consequence to something, then what the hell you got it happening for? Why are you letting it play out? If there's no consequences, then just don't do it. Okay? Because all it does is it gets on the fans' nerves and it just has us side-eyeing characters for different things that they've done that we feel that should have been brought to light, should have been addressed, and should have been something where there was a consequence for it. Instead, it's just like this secret that's between the viewers and the character. Look, I ain't no damn Bold and the Beautiful secret keeper.
I feel like if that secret that if Brooke don't ever find out that Ridge and Taylor are keeping did he tell Brooke that Thomas knew about the labels? No. They decided to keep that a secret. I wish that would come out somehow, that he kept that secret this whole time with Taylor and never told her anything.
That was always my theory about that being part of what cracks Bridge down the middle again. Is that particular piece of information comes out and it ends up blowing them into the seventh layer of hell again. I mean, if it doesn't, I'll be surprised, but I'm like, because Brooke would take it out of hand. She'd be like, first of all, A, it happened. B, why didn't you tell me it happened? We supposed to be starting over and all this other yeah, but you ain't said nothing about something like this. You didn't think I needed to know. You thought it was okay to keep a secret with your son and your damn ex-wife. And you know what? Get out of my house. That. So
well, you know, she ain't gonna never really put him out of the house.
No, she gonna put him out and think he coming back.
She ain't never gonna really put him out of the house. She might say she needs some time to think, but she ain't gonna turn off of her. She ain't gonna take her ring off.
No, she ain't gonna make that mistake. Not while Taylor is on this continent. Oh no, she's not that crazy. But I do agree with what was said about how they don't, and that I honestly think that's part of the problem. I think that's what happened with Flo, and I think that's what happened with Paris. Was that they had a vague idea of what they wanted to do with those characters, but things changed, and then they just decided to slap a default Hope Light label on them because they didn't know what to do. Because yes, Paris was supposed to be the foil, the good girl to Zoe's, not so good girl. But then when Carol Barnes left, and they were like, well, we're not going to recast. They just said, well, we're just going to make her a nice girl. We have a show full of mature women who are from, yesteryear's generation of fighting over men, but they're mothers and grandmothers now. Then we have adult level women in their 30s like Steffi and Hope. And then any women we have that are younger than that, they all been slapped with the good girl label, and they're just sitting there like the pirates who don't do anything. Hi, I'm a good girl, and I would never do anything bad like that.
Yeah, we tired of the damn good girls. That's why I thirst for Sheila, because she's unapologetically bad, even though she keeps saying, "I'm sorry, I did this." No, you ain't, bitch. You
do it again.
She's sorry it didn't work.
Sorry.
Sheila's that being meme, and I'll do it again.
I love that.
Y'all,
sorry.
When are we supposed to see Steffi again?
This week.
I keep hearing that, but when are we supposed to see Steffi again?
Hold on, let me check, because we're back on track now. We are season 2 of the congressional hearings don't start till September, so we on a straight shoot for the whole month, as long as nothing crazy don't happen. Okay, so fingers crossed. Let's hope the world keep itself together in some shape, way, or form. In the meantime,
because I be getting excited about them hearings, especially when they be like, we got to come to y'all immediately tomorrow night because somebody else decided they want to snitch, and the tea is piping. So we know we said we weren't coming back to September, but y'all got to hear this shit. Like that's what I be waiting on. I be waiting on it.
So it looks like we will see Steffi on Friday.
Damn it!
Overlooking a
I was
beautiful
hoping to
vista
see her
in the
before Friday.
south
You
of
know, they
France.
are
Steffi is
really,
overcome with emotion.
they killing me softly. They are killing me softly right now. How many weeks has it been? Finn has been in this bed. June. It's been about 4 weeks now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now he's finally out of the bed and he's strong enough to wrap his hands. Now, who I just don't know who that was. That I think it was you, darling, that made that tweet about Finn choking the life out of Sheila.
Yeah, I was like, go ahead, choke him. Nobody
Oh
blame
my
you.
God. Listen, it made me laugh, and I cannot believe that he literally wrapped both of his damn hands around her damn neck today.
And can I just say that you know what? Sheila don't even need to tell nobody she used to be a nurse. She can't even claim disbarred status no more. You know why? Because whatever the hell she got up in them syringes ain't worth shit.
Well, he's because he's over. Yeah, whatever they was, he's gotten stronger. So whatever it is, it's just not working. She don't know how to calculate for his body size and everything because
What
he
did
is
you say,
all
Can
man.
Can? I didn't quite hear you.
I said whatever it is like a mild tranquilizer. Just put them down for a hot second.
That I also think is also a little bit of what Sam is saying because she hasn't been a nurse in forever. She doesn't know anything about him. So
About how much to give
right,
him
she
to
don't know
keep
nothing
him out,
about his size, what he weighed, nothing about just the basic shit. She don't know about him.
and she don't know about the medicine part either. I mean, she hasn't been a
Right.
nurse in
She doesn't.
decades.
She
Medicine
doesn't know
changes
how to.
constantly.
She doesn't know how to calculate how much medicine to give him.
Exactly.
So all she can do is run an
Sticky.
estimate, and she's not going to give him a lot because she doesn't want to kill him. So
She
she's
doesn't want
just going
to.
to give him a little bit to knock him out. It's not going to be enough to keep him out for any amount of time because she doesn't know. She just wants to knock him out. So, maybe 1 or 2 milliliters in the little needle is all she's giving him just to make him, more manageable, more tolerant. She's giving the baby Benadryl, basically. She's
Basically,
putting on
basically.
the pacifier.
And when he falls out, when he's finally tuckered out after putting up a fight, she strokes his head and runs her fingers through his hair and talks to him and says, "That hurt me more than it hurt you." I
Yeah.
tell you, I goddamn love these two
Girl.
motherfuckers. I could watch this all day. All
She's
day I could watch
basically,
these two.
yeah, because she's doing to him what mamas do to their kids. She's putting whiskey on
Exactly.
the
I
pacifier.
am telling you, I am so enthralled with I can really see her being in it, this is the actress pretending to be a mother that is caring for her child. And I can see the love. I see it. I
Yeah,
can see that she loves Finn in her way. And
yeah,
she truly believes that she is taking care of him. She believes that she's taking care of him until he has his strength. Now, when he stands up and he comes walking toward her and she be all shocked about it, that's her just being in denial because she don't want to let him go.
No,
She
she
would
don't.
keep Finn in captivity until he died, if she could.
And that is where the reality of the situation is the problem. It's why, and it's also why Finn going off the wall with her is not out of hand because capitulation is the only thing capitulation gonna get you is to lull her into a false sense of security and then make you move and come out of bag on her. But you can't go along with Sheila actually believing what she says because it's just not the truth. Even Sheila doesn't really believe it because Finn could be in that room for another 3 months and Sheila wouldn't let him out. Finn could be in that
Exactly.
room for another 2 years. Steffi could be the met another man account in Monaco and be getting ready to get married, and she'd still be telling him, "Well, Finn, you don't want her anyway. Look at her. You only been dead for 2 years, and she done moved on already. So you could just stay here with me." No,
right. You've been dead for 6 months and she's dating now. She couldn't have loved you that much and she done already moved on. The baby's probably calling this new man daddy. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's another
Yeah.
thing she would
Yeah.
do, showing him pictures of Steffi's new life with this new person or hell, you know how Liam liked to insert himself. She just sneak over to the house and take pictures. Look, Liam is already moving in. He practically
Yeah, that's the way Lee was looking when she was over there when that thing made herself too comfortable making her damn tea.
right. What is the hell
Like,
is
what
he
the hell is
doing?
All in my son's kitchen making tea.
Why is he
this?
set up in here like
You know,
he's
that's
stupid?
I would have, yeah, comments would have been made. Comments would have been made, Hunty. You're not in my dead husband's household in his kitchen making tea on his china in his house for his wife. You better get your ass out of here. Period.
Right.
See,
Sir, is you lost?
I heard, don't you live in
Exactly,
Beverly
sir.
Hills, sir?
This
Sir,
is
that's
the
my
beach, not
son's
a
kitchen.
cabin in the woods. You must be lost. We at the beach. You're supposed to be up the road about an hour and a half and hang a left at the patch of trees over there. That's where you live at.
Mhm. Correct.
But
Yes.
we don't need you over here. We good. We got
He
So
don't need to be
yes.
nowhere near
So
Malibu.
listen. We see that
California
there's
is a
a
safe state. He don't need
what
to be
happened?
nowhere near Malibu, period.
Right. Now now Bill might spend some time in Malibu. So if we're going to get so I think that it's impossible. I think everybody knows that we're about to get Bill and Lee because
Yes.
Bill is being too compassionate. He's done completely changed his personality.
Don't he look good? When
But
he
that
like
is a good look, though.
he look good. That looks so good and handsome on him when he's so sweet and
Right,
vulnerable,
because when he's
It's a good
protective,
look.
so he's
endearing.
basically being super protective of this strange woman, but this person, let's say this person that he can see clearly was in bad shape and needed help. And that is not like Dollar Bill. Dollar Bill throw Vinny on the side of the road and talked about him like shit after he was dead. But this I think we're getting
I know,
Billy
Maya.
because he's his change.
I'm not gonna lie, Liam and Wyatt, I really wish they would stop with the corporate America for them and let them go do something that lets the two actors, Darren Brooks and Scott Clifton, play up comedy because they do
Dollar,
comedy real
Dollar,
well.
Dollar Bill was a whole person, a whole character before he even knew he had two sons. So we need to get that one back just as much as we need to get back the Spencer Publications tycoon. So
Well, so we're gonna get an opposite Bill. So because Bill Spencer, he's always been an asshole. So this new
it did.
and that's
gentler Bill is a new Bill. This is new. Now, not to say he's never been gentle because we've all seen him be gentle with Katie, Steffi, and Brooke. We can see him be gentle, but he's an asshole. I'm thinking that we're going to see less of asshole Bill. I think we are.
Well,
They're telling us
well,
he's different.
that's not a bad thing because the thing is, asshole Bill has been perpetually single since 2017 because he can't hold on to a woman because asshole Bill goes around kissing people he shouldn't kiss. And so you can't invest in him having a relationship with nobody.
I
Well,
think
so at
what
this
we're
point,
saying today, Wyatt was telling Liam that Bill was talking differently, and he seemed to be showing compassion and all of that. And I thought, well, yeah, they're really changing Bill,
right.
and Bill Lee is coming. We're getting it. I know it's a lot of people don't believe it, but watch. And
I
then
think so too.
I don't like how they was talking like that. He was 1 foot in the home and 1 foot in the crazy house. It's
Who?
like the Wyatt and Liam. They
Oh,
made it seem like it was such a bad thing, in my opinion, the way they were just acting like, oh, he don't need to be in that big old house. Like kids on TV who say things like that be ready to take the house, sell everything in it, and put the parents in the nursing homes.
but
It's
think
just
about
crazy.
Well,
But think
in their
about who he is, though. Like Bill ain't never been the kind of person to be moping around the house, and that's what they're talking about. This the same man that went rock climbing without damn safety ropes. Um,
right,
for him to
right,
be sitting in the house,
right.
moping around the house, yes, they concerned about his mental health because that's not their dad. Bill
It's it.
Spencer is a get in your face with death kind of person. And if he's sitting at the house moping because he ain't got Katie or some shit, yeah, I'll be thinking about maybe, taking him to consider a weekend in Bellevue.
That just
So
make no.
listen,
That just
so
make it
so
know
did
that they don't know all the aspects of their dad. That's what all
No,
it
but
shows.
the thing is, Bill didn't raise them though. They got introduced to Bill as adult grown men who were already
Right,
adults. So
right.
the only Bill that they've seen is the only Bill that they know. So in
Right.
10 plus years of the Bill that they've seen, they've never seen this version of Bill, regardless of who he was married to. But none of that. This was all new hat, new trick. Don't have no idea that Bill could even act this way, and they're concerned. I don't blame him for being concerned because yes, Dollar Bill has
And
never
this is
acted like this.
also the longest he's ever been without a relationship too.
Yeah,
So it could be a lot of self like evaluation, like you taking in
self
account to what's
reflection.
go-
but that's what I
right.
was gonna
Thank you.
ask. So I was gonna ask that question. On screen, has Bill said anything to anyone about him reflecting on himself in his life and the things that he wanted to change? Has
He
there been
kind of
any?
said it. He kind of said it when he was at lunch with Wyatt and he was sitting at the table.
Did he attribute it to any specific reason?
His kids. The
His
way
Yeah,
he
Oh,
the way he phrased it was that having sons changed his perspective on things. Like this whole
yeah,
thing with
right.
Finn
They
dying so
they reaching
suddenly.
now. They
Yeah,
reaching. They
because
right.
they
he
just
didn't have
killed
these
Vinny
sons
last
for
year, but
years.
now he sees perspective. Okay, so I'm gonna pass because they already trying to feed me the bullshit and I ain't tasting it.
Well, the
Um,
thing is, he's not going to sit down there and have no heart to heart talk about how screwed up he made things because of his entanglement with the Logan sisters. That conversation is not going to happen because
oh
that
no, all he
requires
have to,
him
yeah,
to
yeah.
admit
He,
that he was in the wrong for
I
the
don't even want
BS
that.
that happened the
I was
last
just
2 years.
wondering if he himself stated a reason on screen that we can attribute his change to. But if
He
he had,
basically said, trying to get Katie back and her reasons, for really not wanting to get back with him made him look inward. But like Can said, he said it, but he didn't say it specifically. But we got the idea that Bill has been, and that's why White is concerned about his mental health because he's been sitting at this house thinking about his life this whole time and
is
how
he
he
thinking about his life
treats
though, or
people.
is he moaning because he ain't got Katie? Which one is it?
A little bit of both because he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I think
Because
it's a variation of both.
his isolation isn't limited to Katie. He lost
Yeah.
Justin. He doesn't even have a friend. He
Nope.
lost Justin, an
Yep.
important friendship to him, because of a whole bunch of mess that we never got follow up on. So he's in this place now where he really is alone, alone.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like normally all he had to do with Katie is send her sonnets and just send her a couple of diamond necklaces and woe is me. I'm sorry, I won't do it again. Kiss on the head.
but now
And
he
it
can't
will
do
fix
that
the
with
boo
Katie
boo.
no more because remember she stopped that when
I know
the
what she
time
was.
that he gave her that tiara and
I
told him
understand that, but this is a man who has only been exhausting cheap ideas of atonement. So it's just like, okay, that's not working. Then what do I have to do? Then maybe I need to self-reflect. And like they're saying, it has a lot to do with me. And like Darlene said, he doesn't have Justin to keep him grounded, keep him on the straight and narrow anymore. He can't blame nobody for his actions. So it's like, okay, I have to take accountability. And that's why
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like, okay, my kids. Like I
yeah.
did a
Okay.
lot to them. I've done a lot to them. That's why I'm just saying. I'm
So
just
that's
I mean,
saying.
probably why Bill wants to be okay, better person. All right. So now Bill's going to be a better person. Great. Him and Lee. So now Jack. I have a agenda for Jack and Taylor because Jack is, unsullied. He is a member of the Unsullied. So I have an agenda there. If we get in Billy, I want Jack back
hmm,
and I want Jack and Taylor.
I think you should pick something else, Sam. If you say he unsullied, everybody gonna think he a unit because that's where my head went.
Oh no,
I don't like
no,
that.
but he's
I don't like that they tarnishing Jack and they're not looking at the whole picture. It's like, okay, people do stuff and you have to forgive. Like that stuff is okay. people do stuff all the time. It's just like certain things you're gonna forgive and move on, and or you just really can't do it. Like, but that's your dad. Like, that's how you really gonna forgive your dad?
Well, Finn's
Who you do
supposed
you
to
mean
forgive
Finn
his
and
dad.
Jack?
Lee don't
I
have to
think
forgive
Finn
him.
and
I mean, how could you not
yeah.
forgive your dad? Like, how could you not?
Yeah,
It'll
Finn
take
should forgive
time.
him.
Oh
It'll
no, I
take
Finn should
think
forgive him.
Finn.
sure, but
I
I'm
think
sure that they're gonna write their relationship back. But I don't know if it's gonna be the same. But I hope they give it some type of
Well, if he
relationship
even
back
come
to
at
the
all, I mean, I wonder at this point. We only saw Jack to come and
the
visit.
one day.
Come looking for Lee at one time, and we haven't seen him since. And even before that, he wasn't even at the hospital scenes. It's just like I
yeah.
don't know what the fuck they doing. I mean,
That's
the man was at.
crazy.
We know he was filming. Did they only film that one damn cut?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like,
That's
we
kind of
have to
I'm a
reunion
little bit
with them
confused
too. Because
because
he can't be running around the earth thinking his son's still dead. Like, we still need to know that we got to see that too. We can't.
Right, but that's what I mean. I'm very disappointed in that. We're not. We're this is wrapping up to the end now. I
Yeah,
mean, if Finn is on his way to go see Steffi, Jack has missed the whole damn thing. The
And,
whole story is over with now.
yeah.
and
yeah, whatever we're gonna see of Jack is gonna be post reunion. That much is obvious.
Exactly, exactly, and
He's
it's
not
just
gonna be in it before then.
y'all, I'm Lee Finnegan in all this. I don't give a fuck if Jack shows up because this at the end of the day is all at his feet. So
oh, I don't. He can take his lumps. I have an agenda for him to be with Taylor. I don't care if Lee. I would hope Lee don't want him back. Kick him to the curb so that her trash can be Taylor's treasure.
I don't know that I want him with Taylor.
I do. I want them two on screen together, making mad, passionate love and entertaining me to no end. I like both actors. I like the characters. I can't. I just wish I can get what I wanted, but I can't have nice things because I need something for Taylor.
I
Um,
like the characters and the actors as well, but I don't want Jack with Taylor. Um, Now if they trying to keep Dr. Armstrong,
I can
yes,
deal with Dr.
on
Armstrong.
me
Dr.
too.
Armstrong with Taylor. And then
That's
I
her.
want
That's her
Dr.
level.
Armstrong to explain to us how the fuck he left a year and a half ago almost to go check on Thomas's damn test results and never
We
came
ain't
back.
seen his ass since the
Sir, can you
Aqua
tell
Bowl
me
be
why
doing
you
the
ain't
most
come back and
sometimes with
check
that
on
shit.
Thomas while he was in distress? You just went to lunch. Did Bill Spencer pay you to abandon Thomas in this damn hospital bed? That's
You
what
know he don't like him.
Yeah,
I'm
Vincent. Yeah, Vincent Irizarry. He's. I cannot believe he still looks so good.
Lou Jack. Somebody said he had
Big ass salt and pepper. He got it on his face. Honey, he is
Well,
looking
SB
He's
good.
Ryder,
looking like a snack.
I did
Yes.
want to address what SB Ryder said in the YouTube comments because I think there may be some merit to it. Because here's the thing. I don't predict, with the exception of Sin, of course. I
I
don't
agree with what she's saying
predict,
though.
huh?
I said I agree with what she's saying though.
Yeah, I don't predict longevity for couples at this point just because both can do what they want, with the exception of couples like Sin and a few others who they really ain't trying to break them up. I do think that that's part of it because the thing is, Bill is about to, because the thing is, we all really feel like sometimes the show doesn't listen, meaning it's not that they don't hear what we're saying, it's just that they don't take action on it. And people
Mhm.
have been complaining about the mess that is Bill Spencer since 2017 when everything started to go to hell. Okay,
Mhm.
all right. When the whole mess with the still one night stand, which I still firmly say that if they was gonna do it, it never should have been a one night stand. But once they did that tacky shit, and then the stuff that happened afterwards, they messed up the possibility of doing a real relationship that didn't look like it was just a reaction to steam or to lope. They never should have
Mhm.
did that. If they
Right.
wasn't gonna do it for real, they should have just left it the hell alone like they had been doing all these years. But then they did that tacky shit.
Mhm.
So ever since then, Bill has been a disaster of a character when it comes down to anything having to do with romantic pairings. Because first of all, Don Diamont is the bomb. He should be in a pairing. He should always
Absolutely.
be
Absolutely.
in a pairing. And him being on ice all this time, diddy bopping from woman to woman, looking like the most insincere POS. like Liam got it honestly through the DNA POS has
Yeah.
not been a good look. So making him this this suddenly a humanitarian to a stranger who he does not know. Bill's compassion and giving has always been centered on people he cares about.
That's
It's
right.
it's never been something that
He is
has
not a
been
philanthropist.
right. It's never been something that has been available to strangers, but now suddenly it is. I think part of the part point of Billy is that it's supposed to function as a reset for Bill. I agree with
I think
SB
so
Ryder
too.
on that.
Because if they're basically spelling it out, they're basically spelling that out in the dialogue. Bill
Yeah.
Oh,
is different
Right.
now.
oh yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
they are definitely resetting Bill. I believe they are resetting. I'm sorry. I feel like they are resetting Sin. Quinn and Carter definitely got their shot. I think the show, whatever whoever got their hands on the wheel in April after that 35th anniversary disaster, they have been cruising and steering this ship to we are in striking distance of catching up with YNR and total viewers. I mean,
We are.
seriously.
And in
I think it's
having
like
a
just
See
like over
what we were
400,000.
last week in ratings
It was
with
like
one
four.
R. We were
Well,
tied with
that was for the demographics, but in total viewers, we're like a 400,000 viewers away from catching them in total viewers. Now, and if Bold and Beautiful keep turning at what the hell they've been turning at with Finn and Sheila, and I know we gonna show our ass when Steffi finally back on screen.
oh
them.
sure.
When
You
the
better
Queen
believe
finally comes back, I
it.
mean, the
Believe
show really is going to take off.
They
it.
have
I
got
cannot
it.
wait.
And that's the other thing. The other thing about Bowl is that it's keeping people's interest. There was a whole conversation with Bubbles and a couple of other people about that earlier, which is that despite some of the complaints that are being lobbied about this, that, and the third, is that first of all, this is a show that lacks quality couples. Do we have couples? Yes, but do we have quality couples? Very few of them. Okay, we got Sin and we got Quarter. Those are the couples that have been staged as couples you can root for. Couples who have been given stories where there's an opposition, they've overcome it, whatever the hell it is, and now they're finally together or about to be together. A whole bunch of other couples they just mark in time or they don't even exist at this point. Because right now, Flo and Wyatt, Bridge, and
Well,
even
Flo
Loke.
hasn't to bring up it that doesn't even belong on the show. Wyatt didn't even mention her the past couple of days.
He
I
don't
know.
never mention her.
They
Well,
always
he
mention
did
her
the
to
other day
him.
to Quinn. So
They
one day
always
when he was talking to Quinn. Remember when Quinn was telling everybody
Flo
that
went
Carter was about to
traveling with
marry
him when he
Karen.
went away for work. That was the only time he mentioned Flo.
He did. He mentioned that him and Flo went was on vacation or whatever.
No, he had to go travel for business, and Flo went with him.
Right.
So
So yeah, they so she was mentioned and I hated it, but she hasn't been mentioned recently. Like today, when all this discussion between him and his brother, I'm surprised. It would be normal to say, "And how's Flo?" But no, but none of that. Oh yeah, or just normal for him to say, "Yeah, me and Flo, we just been chilling," but
But
no Flo.
don't nobody care about Flo except
mm-mm.
for Quinn because that's Shauna's daughter. And
That's
that's the way, and
probably
the rest of the Logans, and that's the way it should be because nobody should have accepted her after what she did to Stephanie
Mm-mm.
and Hope.
That was
But
right.
right.
the Logans took her in because it's Stormy's baby girl. And that's why she has a place in that family with everybody except for Hope. Liam
Only thing they did right.
about her, except for Liam got to stick by his wife, and that was his baby too. So even if Hope was accepting of Flo, Liam still needs to feel some kind of way about her, and he does. And I think Bill feels some kind of way too because
Uh-uh.
that's his grandbaby.
Bill was riding there acting like she was a part of the family too.
Yes.
Everybody, and that's
Well, because she saved Katie, and that time he was still trying to hunch on Katie. So, okay, I get him being appreciative because he kept his last hunch alive. But
everybody should hate her, but nobody does.
that's the point.
No,
Everybody
and
should,
it's why.
nobody does.
But it's why all the view. It's why most of the viewers can't stand her because
But
them trying to write it like this just pissed everybody off. It's like, are you blind?
But Hope hates her, and that's what's important to me is that Hope has not given, at least the last time we saw her and Hope interacting.
Hope's a Flo's a
Celebrated her in the
non-figure.
office, but Hope is not that forgiving, and that's the way it should be. So no, nobody should be talking about Flo. She should still be the person that people whisper about, even though Wyatt is getting ready. They're engaged. She should still be he should never feel comfortable enough to bring her up. He should never feel comfortable enough to invite her to any type of family gathering.
Thank you, Amaya.
Flo was working right as Spencer with Wyatt, Bill, and
no,
they all work there together. So
they Forrester. They has a job at Forrester in Hope State.
She does now, but I'm saying they all accept her. The Liam, Wyatt, Bill. They drinking her bath. They drinking her Kool-Aid too.
I don't think Liam does. I think Liam plays along to get along, but at the end of the day, if Hope doesn't accept her, he's not going to accept her. He might be saying, and we know Liam was a waffler, so I could see him waffling to keep the peace or whatever it is he thinks he has to do with his brother and his dad. But as far as when he's with Hope, he doesn't talk about Flo. If Wyatt talks to him about Flo, he don't take that to Hope and fill her in on it because he knows that she don't want to hear that shit.
But that's not him. That's not him not standing her. That's just him too scared to tell his wife that he cool with her.
As he should be.
But he is cool with her. He sat there and worked with her every day. I mean, she was accepted by everybody. And just like y'all saying, it pissed everybody off. I'd never be unpissed about it.
Well, everybody except for Hope. And as long as Hope never accepts her, that's a believability for me. And that's why they don't talk about her, and they never should. As long as Hope ain't talking about her, should nobody be talking about Flo.
Oh,
she shouldn't even be on the show.
Booted out?
Huh?
Oh, no, I saw Can in the chat.
I'm sorry. Yes, I got booted out.
I don't think anybody should. The rest of them can sing whatever praises they want to. Bill is glad because Katie didn't die. Wyatt is glad because he gets to knock a little piece of ass off, and Liam is just happy because everybody else is happy.
Can I say about Flo? I agree. She should have been a freaking pariah of both families. She should have been a pariah for the Spencers and the Forresters. There's no freaking way in hell she should have had a job at Forrester Creation.
Nope.
No way. No way. And if they love her so much, they need to employ her. Put her on their payroll.
It never made sense.
Not them. Not the Forrester.
And Amaya was right. That shit with Wyatt and Flo coming to the house to visit Hayes, that was I was like, why is Flo walking through the front door like she got an open invitation? Oh, apparently she
that's the last time she was there. She sold Steffi a baby that wasn't hers.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Never gotten her money back.
Nope.
And probably never filed no taxes for that.
Never got anything. None of that. None of that. No. I need let me hush.
No, you're right. No, it never should have went down like that. And it's also one of the reasons why, because Lord knows I don't hold anything against any of the actors and the actresses, because I authentically feel bad for people when they get saddled with characters that have limited possibilities or are really doomed to failure. But them in doing all of that crap has made Flo such a pariah of a character that I honestly, unless they do a total 180 and decide to just make her the villain or the vixen or the antagonist that she always should have been from the start, there is literally nothing they can do with that character.
And because the character is so new and don't nobody give a fuck about it anyway, there's no point in doing all that. Just cut your losses.
No, absolutely not. Especially after they destroy Sally. Like it's a lot.
A lot of baggage goes along. I mean, we all know when we all sat there and watched Courtney Hope do her last damn her exit storyline about this bullshit right here, and we actually lost Sally for goddamn Felon. It's a lot of stuff to go along with this, so it's not as black and white as maybe we can do this, that, and the other. No, it's too personal for the viewers. Felon has to go.
It's almost poetic that Sally is not on script at B&B. She's on Y&R now. But we have not seen Flo. So she might as well just be gone too. It's like, okay, she may not be with Wyatt anymore, but the person that he is supposed to be with, she ain't being shown either. So it's like, hey, okay, I could take it. Now it's kind of like Justice. Okay, it's fine, great. You can have your felony Flo, but nobody sees her. Nobody knows she's existing.
Yeah, I don't want the threat of her. I mean, even just the threat of the felon irks the shit out of me. I wish that I really hate that Wyatt brought her up that day with Quinn, because it made me feel like, oh, she's definitely going to show back up. I mean, the last storyline that she was in, she was being gifted her heavenly position at Forrester Creations from the Logans, which think it's their birthright.
And that bugged me too. Like, who is in HR that is named Logan that they can hire and fire folks?
Right.
Well,
And it was lame.
Brooke
I mean, it was
made
a
the
lame
decision.
story.
Then she told Ridge, and Ridge just shrugged and said whatever. I was like, what the
Hey, we just gonna write a cut her a check. Yeah, okay, great. She just
Yeah,
broke
we'll
the
pay her.
hell out
Yeah,
of my
exactly.
daughter's heart.
She snatched the heart out of my daughter's chest. But
Exactly.
yeah, why not?
They gave
You know,
her
that's why I
the
say those
job.
Foresters are real simps. You know, they never protect
They
Steffi.
really
That's
are.
why I'm glad of Finn. You know, that's one reason why Finn is so much to me, because none of those Forester men ever really protected Steffi.
Nope.
They all
Well,
about
they gave
themselves.
Flo a
Eric,
job
Ridge.
and a name at Forrester all at the same time when they welcomed her to the family. Here's your name, and you get to work in marketing with Katie.
Right. Steffi nowhere on the scene to have any input on it.
Exactly. She sure was. She's somewhere healing
No,
and broken heart.
Steffi was nowhere on. Steffi was not even physically at work when that was
Exactly.
going on.
No, she wasn't. No,
Nope.
she was not. And
Yep.
then right after that, she trying to be in coops, trying to take her position as co-CEO. You know, that whole time just ticks me
Well,
off.
see, that's the thing. You know, and here's the thing, though. My thing is that sometimes Bold will get on a thread for a story. They do this all the time, and they drop it. Brooke trying to persuade Ridge to give her a shot as co-CEO, because I forgot what Steffi was out for exactly. Of why
had a
she was
baby.
away.
Steffi was out because of the accident. Because of the accident.
Was it the accident or was it one of her maternities? I can't remember.
Was it an
No, she
accident
went
or
right
her
back
addiction?
after
Wait,
A,
no,
so
it
it
was
was
her
an
addiction.
accident.
It was the addiction. It was the addiction.
Okay, it was while she was in recovery. They didn't put Steffi through so much we can't even remember what the hell she went out for.
Right.
Yes, it was when she was in rehab and in recovery for the addiction. So when they popped that story, I kind of went, "Nah, I know this. I know you effing lying. This heifer ain't about to roll up here and take a damn thing." But you know what? That would have been a fight. That would have been an interesting story. And
Yes.
then they just let the whole thing just, fly by the wayside and never brought it up again. Which I was like, okay, I guess I could see it. Now, Amaya has said several times in the comments, and I think she's right. I think when Darren Brooks was off filming what he was filming for Apple and the other stuff that he's been involved in, even though Katrina Broughton has not been on screen, don't take that. She hasn't been doing television, but if I'm not mistaken, she's been doing movie stuff.
That's
Okay,
fine. Good
yeah.
for her.
So I think so. I don't know if she's coming back or if she's not coming back. I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah, I
But
need them to
We
do with her like they
we
did
don't need
with
the character.
Maya.
I'm sure that the actress is fine, and I'm sure that she all that there and the other in all that. But the character is not needed from my perspective.
no,
The
I
character
agree.
outstayed her welcome 3 months after she was in, and they need to cut the losses. We don't like her.
And I think when
Right.
Wyatt brought her up, because keep in mind, when the show, how do I put it? When the show not invest but disinvest itself in something, I think the whole point of them even bringing up where Wyatt and Flo were during that time off was to address the fact that the two characters had almost spent a whole year not being on screen. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the explanation. I'm done with the felon.
Yeah, but it never went any further than that because here's the thing, even though Wyatt has been on and he's actually been the linchpin in introducing this new set, since he's, supposedly the one who discovered it.
And he ate there twice in one day. He ate there earlier today with Bill and later today with Liam. This shit is so ridiculous.
That part, I think I guess it's because because so much is supposed to happen inside of one day that I think they could have scripted it a bit better, but I guess they wanted Wyatt to have a conversation.
Better.
Yeah, they wanted Wyatt to have a conversation with both Bill and Liam, but just not together, since Bill was kind of was kind of the object of the conversation between Wyatt and Liam. So I guess they kind of did it a bit clunky. So they gotta work on that.
We need to stop making excuses for the bullshit.
That transition
was trash.
Good.
I mean, literally, they had in the dialogue a grown man traveling to a restaurant, the same restaurant, twice in one day to have a meal with two different family members. That's
they made it seem like he
type
stayed.
Shit. That's right. So when stuff like that,
but he didn't eat with Liam. He ate with Bill, and he
ate with
him afterwards.
He said he stayed so he can show him the new restaurant that he had took him out to, and that's why he was like, I think Dad made you pay for it. He's like, nah. He's like, yeah, I think he paid for it. He's like, no, I paid for it. But yeah, it was just to show Liam the new restaurant.
Not only that, something else I think we need to start keeping track of. Can you might have missed this the last week, but we had a very long, drawn-out conversation about our sets. Specifically,
about who?
The sets for both in the.
Oh no, I was there. I was one of the only ones that was up in here with y'all. Remember, that's what.
No, I think. Wait, you know what? You're right, Sam. I think Sam. Oh, Sam, you were with your daughter. You were with your daughter and your grandson. So okay, you were the person I was missing. Okay, I'm sorry, Ken. You were here. When we were having that long conversation about the sets, part of what I'm really interested in is from now until when this kind of sort of resolves, as far as Finn being rescued, him getting on a plane and going off to Monaco to reunite with Steffi. I'm kind of sort of subconsciously keeping an eye on when a new set is introduced. I think it's kind of important to pay attention to what sets we don't see anymore. Because I really do think that they do have some space constraints there, and that we basically have two old sets one old set being Bill's house, which was Taylor's house, and Sam, if you had seen us, we went all the way back to the 90s, back when that was Pierce's house. They literally ain't thrown shit away. Like, it's kind of
except
sad.
for the sofa.
Except for the sofa and the table and the sconces and the curtains.
So it looks like Bill's new sofa didn't actually play into the story. He just got a new sofa.
Right, probably for them to refresh the set.
Because the set looks smaller to me.
It's more than just a new sofa. It's a sofa, the curtain, the sconces, the tree.
It's color set, the color pattern. It's not beige.
So that's going to be Lee's new house, basically.
Or at least we're going to see more of it. It's that thing.
And we're going to be seeing more of Lee.
It's obvious when the boys were saying that big old house is too big for him to be there by himself. So obviously Bill gonna have a roommate some way, shape, or form.
Yep. I think there's a very valid point that Bill will invite Lee to stay with him, because when Finn comes home, I don't think that she's gonna want to go stay with him and Steffi.
Correct.
Because Taylor's already staying
there. They're gonna be all over the house.
And Taylor's already staying there with him.
Which she got to go too.
So
when my family gets home,
I think everybody's
got to go.
Well, honestly, I think everybody needs their own space, but everybody's not going to get it.
It ain't happening.
They really do,
it's not happening.
Because what Amaya said, I think, is a valid point. She made a point that Bill's house and the Forrester mansion are basically occupy the same space. That's what I mean about kind of paying attention to what we're seeing and what we're not seeing. So right now, all we're seeing is Bill's house, that new restaurant that I have a feeling we're going to be sick of it by the time it's all over with, but okay. The new restaurant and where Finn
and Sheila are.
Yeah. Now, once the story starts to move away from that, I want that room where Finn is, that disappears. That's going to fall off because that's a place that won't exist anymore once this crazy shit is over with.
So let me ask you a question, darling. Just from
Mm.
what you're talking about. So do you think that they're finally going to get rid of the Forrester Mansion set then? Is that what you're thinking?
No, not get rid of. I think what I don't think we're going to see is I don't think we're going to see anything happen where it is a requirement that we be at the Forrester Mansion. The mansion isn't gone; it's just taken down.
And
Is
that's
what I think.
for us to
And
want to
plus, Donna
see
and Erica,
because well, Sam was getting ready to say it, but there's nothing for us to see at the mansion. Donna
Right.
and Eric are there
right.
now. Quinn lives with Carter. We don't care about the Forrester Mansion no more. It's
Mhm.
probably
And they
fucking
just went
got
Right.
through their
going
That's
on.
why.
storyline.
That's
Right.
why I was saying that because no one's really occupying it. Even though
In the
Thomas
storyline.
doesn't have a place to live. Even though.
But
So I'm
that's
just
why we keep.
saying.
But that's why
Yeah,
we keep
that would
seeing
be
the
the obvious one that they take down right now because Steffi house gets used, Brooke house gets used, and then there's the shack. So I don't, and now Bill's house is being used. So yeah, that'd be
And
the
the new
obvious one that
restaurant.
they
So we
break
probably
down.
won't be seeing Il Giardino for sure if we've got a
Definitely.
restaurant.
Yeah, definitely because Deacon's supposed to be getting a quote unquote place.
Right. So he
So
might even get another job. So I wonder where Deacon Place is. So
I think they're probably gonna change Maya's old room that was above Insomnia, because the way that door looked, that
it
door
looked
had
like
a
it's
window over it, just like that door had that and Maya had.
it almost looked like it's a beach house to me. It looks like there's blinds on the door. It almost looks like Wyatt's old beach house. Wyatt's beach house. The
Right,
door. Not the whole
like
house,
they
but the
put
door.
that old apartment on a beach setting though.
Right.
Like they
You're right.
changed the
I think you're
outside.
right. You're right. It's probably whatever Deacon's place is. It's probably been constructed from Wyatt's beach house.
And
That's
then,
what it
then
looks
you
Right.
like
got,
to me.
because I think that was the same door that they used for Quinn. Remember Quinn's old apartment with Wyatt before
I
she
don't remember no
married.
apartment from that was so long ago.
I thought that was above the warehouse.
No, 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 no. I'm talking about the one that she shared with Deacon. The one that she was actually married to Deacon and they lived in an apartment.
Oh, I'd have to go look for that. I can't even remember what that looks like.
But that kind of looks like it too, because it would make sense. Like, I don't know why he didn't go back to that place. I mean, they did get a divorce. Maybe they lost in a divorce, but I don't know. Maybe it'll come up. It'll come
So
up.
yeah, so I think and I brought all this up to say I went a long way to make a long point because that the whole set breakdown that we did last week kind of stuck with me and popped up a couple of times over the weekend. I really want to see what sets we have up as far as storyline is concerned because sometimes I think not to excuse Bold and them being lazy, but sometimes I think some of the clunky exposition they do with stuff, like this crap with Wyatt being at the same restaurant twice, has to do with the fact that they have a set that they don't have up where it would have made more sense. It would have made way more sense for Wyatt to be at the cabin to have left dinner when Bill left dinner. Bill found Lee in the alley, took her back to his house, and Wyatt stopped over by the cabin to see Hope and Liam and talk about Bill. That would have made way much more sense. So why not just do that? Unless it wouldn't have worked because that particular set isn't up right now. So
Yeah, it might not be up because it didn't make sense. I
no,
mean,
it
just to
didn't.
have that
Not even by Bold
conversation.
standards.
Yeah, I'm here twice in one day. I mean, they could have came up with even better dialogue. I mean, but anywho, so what are we on now? We done talked about that
I
restaurant.
love
Um.
the spoiler picture. I love the spoiler picture
Oh,
that
with
it's
Bill and
supposed.
Finn.
Bill and Finn.
Yes, I love the spoiler picture because oh my god, it's so much reference in that picture alone. That's
Ah,
Steffi's old.
go ahead, Ricky. Tanner retweeted Ricky's edit. All right.
Say what now?
Tanner retweeted Ricky J's edit or that she made in honor of Finn's anniversary on the
Finn's
23rd.
anniversary, right?
Oh, that's so
Go
cool.
ahead, girl, you did it right. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
But no, I was just saying that I think it was so cool because of the reference that it's thrown out there for us. That's just showing that this is old Steffi's hero. This is Steffi's old hero passing the baton off into her new hero. And I love that sentiment because Bill did lose a lot of Steffi fans because of what he pulled on her in 2018. And I was one of them. Like, you couldn't tell me that they wasn't the best of friends. At the end of the day, he gonna ride or die for his girl and she gonna ride or die for him. But I didn't ever couple them. You know what I mean? I just liked the relationship that they had between themselves. And when he pulled that, I disliked anything to do with Bill and her together. So when that spoiler picture came out and it showed that he's going to do whatever he can, and then yes, I love the sentiment of all of that.
Yeah, because somebody did brought it to my attention that Finn's first interaction on screen was with Bill.
Yeah, because he was telling, he was at the hospital, right? Mm-hmm. Right. It was the ambulance guy, and then it was Phil telling him exactly. Yes, it was.
So it's nice. It makes for good symmetry. It makes for fantastic symmetry. I agree with that.
Exactly. So, 2 years ago, he met Bill, and now 2 years today, he's Bill is coming up. Bill is going to be helping him get to Steffi. Bill's
again.
I really do feel like I do feel like the tail end of this story is doing something that shows used to do back in the day, but they didn't got lazy about, which is that in addition to telling Sin's story, which of course we're all totally here for, they're also setting up their next leg of the stories that they're going to tell once this story has reached its conclusion, which is
they've already started telling it. They have. They're supposed to do it when one is about to come to an end and you're ramping up to its ending. You should have already started and gotten people used to and ready for the next story that they're going to be interested in. And right now, for me, that's Bill and Lee.
Yes, that's going to be one of the stories that they are going to have rolling along with, probably something having to do with Quarter. And we're not really sure about the direction of other things. Oh, and obviously whatever the hell they're going to do with Bridge or
has anybody seen any Quarter spoilers?
No, not right away. But that at some point they're going to start shifting focus because they're not going to keep the main focus just on Sin. Because they're getting back now.
We're clearly going to go from Sin to Bill and Lee. I mean, it's set up. I don't see
we're at one time to see which one is going to take off. Whichever one is going to validate some heat, they're going to go with like.
What are you talking about, Can? Which one? Who are you talking about between?
I think it's going to be like 2 or 3 storylines. It's not just going to be just one.
That's what I mean. Bill and Lee are a part of it, but they're not all of it because they have been trying to rock hard on keeping an ABC dynamic going. And they're going to continue to do that because it's really kept their ratings decent. Like when they were really dealing with Quarter and the whole Derek mess, that was at the forefront. And everything going on with Sin was still going on with Finn and Sheila and Lee, but it was at the back of it. So they're gonna Bill and Lee are part of it, but they're not by themselves.
So listen, guys, we just rolled out of Derek and Quarter.
Mm-hmm.
We just rolled out of that.
Mm-hmm.
We're in Sin right now. We're about to roll out of Sin.
Mm-hmm.
They've laid groundwork for. We know Tridge. Something gonna go. Let's say Tridge and Deacon. Let's say Tridge and Breakin. That something's gonna happen in Monaco. That's gonna be story. So we have that. Whatever's going on with Bill and Lee. I don't know what else is coming up for that third story that they've already laid the groundwork for. Do you? It's already been laid?
That's the question mark.
I always got guesses.
Well, but we know. Well, no, I'm talking about that they have laid down.
Yes,
we already know something's going down.
I know what you mean. Yes, I know, and you know it too. You've seen it. You've seen her picking up alcohol bottles and stuff. You think it ain't been put out there.
But that hasn't. Yeah, they are not that subtle.
That could be another story.
But they're not that subtle. That's not what they
I
picking
mean,
up.
they
Well,
did
it
say
could be, but I don't
both
think I
are
don't see.
supposed to have their time. They said that they're supposed to be pushing out a story for them, right?
Well, right,
I'm
but we don't have any nibbles on that yet. So I'm not trying to jump to them before they even give us anything on them yet. They're giving us Tridge, Daylor, uh, Billy. I don't know what else. Oh, maybe even Paris and Zende, which maybe not because we literally just got out of Paris's mess. So probably not even Paris and Zende. That's all I'm seeing right now. Now, whatever is going on with Hope and them, sure. I haven't seen any groundwork laid for their story.
You seen the spoiler where they said that well, nope, this wasn't a spoiler. Somebody
That was
said
the
that
preview.
Annika said that they're supposed to be bringing Beth back on, right? They're supposed to be bringing the baby back, right?
I don't know. I don't follow that.
I have no idea.
No, but we will be seeing Kelly.
I know we're gonna be seeing Kelly. Yes, finally. Yeah, so I think they're trying to incorporate the kids back in the storyline. It's taking 2 years and it's about darn time.
I'm
As
not ready
Lizzo
for
said.
that shit. I'm not. I just can't. But what more do they want to do with Steffi and Hope's kids? What more now?
Well, they gotta have the kids. They have always been on script, and for them not to be on script because of COVID has been noticeable.
Them
I'm just
children, I don't need to see their ass. I really don't. They ain't on script because they ain't got a damn job to do on script, in my opinion. They there to sit there and look cute. I want to know what the story is going to be coming up. Those kids can sit their ass down and go to sleep or whatever.
I have a I have a different opinion.
Hey, listen, I'm that mean. Them damn kids. I don't care nothing about them kids right now. I'm trying to find the action in the drama. Now, if we can continue on with Sheila on screen, I know she's going to need her rest, but I would love for Sheila to be caught and put in that mental hospital.
She's not
I'm
gonna do
tired
she just
of all
had
these.
surgery. You just
Right,
saw
which
did
is
you
I
see
mean why she's
Kimberly just
definitely
said she
Oh, you
healing
mean
from her
Kimberly?
second surgery.
Yeah,
right. And
I
she's
did
gonna
see
need
that.
her rest. But when she comes back, I just want her to come back, y'all. I just don't. That's it. I
And
just
it's,
need her back.
yeah, she coming back, but I don't think it's gonna be right away because of
Right.
like I just said, and also because Sid got to bask in all of this beauty of their reunion.
Well, we're
Now
only
they
gonna get
gotta
can't
be
be
snippets of
bliss.
them.
asleep
We're
They
for
gonna
a
can't
get.
be
while.
blissfully happy forever. No, of course
No,
not,
they just
because
Yeah,
gotta
we're
be
gonna get
asleep
she
for a
do
snippets.
while.
have the mother-in-law from hell. But as of right now, I think they're not gonna experience anything terrible until at least the end of the year,
Well,
like
we haven't
maybe
even had our
Thanksgiving or
reunion.
something.
Let's stop predicting the horrors on sin before we even
I'm
got them
not.
back
I'm
together.
just saying you want Sheila to come back. I'm just saying I don't think it's going to be anytime soon,
But
right
Sheila, but see,
now,
that's what
because
I've been
the
saying.
storylines have to be 3 weeks out, and she's not even filming nothing out right now. So at least it's going to be 2 or 3 months away from now. So it's like August, September, October. That's why I'm saying that, Sam. That's all. Like
Oh
it's
yeah,
going to.
Sheila's not gone permanently. She's just gonna be gone a while, at least long enough for these other stories to, do whatever the hell it is they're gonna do.
Oh, you goddamn right. So I'm looking forward to I think literally to be honest with you, that's the only thing. Well, I was looking forward to, whatever, because once the sin story and the reunion is off and onto the back burner, I'm trying to figure out what's gonna keep my attention. I think Bill and Lee definitely will keep my attention.
Definitely.
And
Yeah.
whatever goes down in Monaco with Taylor and Ridge. I'm
Oh my
gonna be wanting
God.
to know what goes on with that. Because I'm sure something's gonna happen. I just need to know, because remember, it's either they're gonna go all the way or Taylor's gonna slap the shit out of them. That's the only two options that's
I
gonna work for
want
me.
I want Deacon to be the angst. I want him to be the pebble in Ridge's shoe that won't go away.
Well, he is
And I
already
want
because
Taylor to tell him he's my friend. He's not bothering you. Nobody's telling you who
That's
to
what
be.
she
Go
should.
and kill your
And
brother.
that's exactly what his overprivileged ass needs to hear.
Yeah, that's why I said I need some 1992 Ridge groveling back because he is definitely in need of it. He deserves all of that. He don't need to be thinking he running nothing that has to do with Taylor. No, sir, you gave up that right. Go home and heal your broken foot wife. Leave me alone.
He'll be all right. Rich need to go sit his ass down. Well, first of all, they won't have to worry about Steffi anymore because all will be right in her world once she comes back. She gonna have her baby. She gonna have her man. She gonna have both her churn. Everything is gonna be as it should be in Stephanie Forrester the
Maybe
second world. Thank
we
goodness.
didn't
For at
get
least for a
Thomas.
while.
Thomas was the other thing that we hadn't got any movement on.
Right. The
Maybe
only
we can get something out of Thomas.
right. Those Thomas and Loaf are the only two things that have happened yet.
All summer we've been waiting on him to have a new love. And now I grant you, 4 weeks is a lot to tell a story. But geez, come on.
I'm hanging my hat on the idea that whatever we're supposed to get with Loaf and whatever we're supposed to get with Thomas, we're going to get after the Sin reunion has concluded and everybody's back in LA living life normal.
Definitely. You're right about that, darling.
I mean, because there's no way to fit all of that crap into there now. I mean, because honestly, I will have to say the show has been doing a good job juggling and keeping things, keeping the stories moving. But one thing I will say that I'm so pleased about this story is that they started it has run its course, and it's winding down, and it's doing it in a reasonable amount of time because we all lived through the debacle that was the Baby Beth mess, and the fact that that story, whatever you thought of it, it went on too long.
That
it was
story
too
was
much.
trash. That
It was
story
too much.
7 months of the same people doing the same shit in the same room. It was garbage. But anyway,
And that's
I digress. I
the
get
thing.
mad every time I think about it because it was a waste of my time.
A baby switch story is a soap staple. So in principle, I don't have a problem with it. I can deal with the baby switch story. That's fine. But
it wasn't even a good baby switch.
It wasn't a good story. But for them to drag it from January all the way till August, that was too much. People, I said it already. I said people was in damn comas. I was missing weeks and weeks of the show because I just couldn't stand it. I just wanted it to be done. We had all known the truth for so long. It was obvious as the nose on my face, and all they did was drag it out. Now I don't know if that's what they intended to do, or if that's just how it went. But I don't care what the story is. They don't never need to do nothing like that where the story running from January to August with that kind of a lag for a secret of that measure. That was somebody needed to be dead and disappeared off screen for that 7 months. This wasn't like Taylor disappeared. It wasn't like Taylor dying in a plane crash and disappearing to Monaco for months or something like that, where the character legitimately was gone and we thought they were dead. No, this was us just sitting there like, so when everybody gonna know the same thing that everybody else knows?
We found out that Steffi had. Well, we all knew it immediately. I knew it before even Hope even had the baby. I had called it, and people told me I was crazy. Ain't even nobody having a baby yet. I was just like, okay. But we all knew from day one, from the moment she had that baby, that Steffi was going. From the moment Steffi started talking about adoption, we know she was going to get that baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what made the story suck from beginning to end. We all knew it. We all knew the outcome. They was never gonna let Steffi keep and raise the baby forever. So we all knew the outcome was gonna be. And it was 8 damn months of predictable outcome. Predictable as hell. Trash.
Exactly.
I don't care that they won an award because that same week, I don't know if it was Comcast or which cable company had just went ahead and agreed to the contract with CBS. And they finally got CBS back because CBS had been off of one of those. I don't know if it was Dish or Direct or one of those TV, one of those providers. And that week they got CBS back. And that week was the culmination of that story. Everybody wanted it over. So you mean to tell me the way to get good ratings is to bore the shit out of your viewers for 7 months, and then when it's in, they all line up to come and see it? That they shouldn't have got any awards for that. It was pure garbage.
So what I'm hoping is that lessons were learned during this story. That here's the thing, this is a half-hour soap, okay? So we don't need a payoff, a story that only lasts a week or 2 weeks or even a month. But you can't be dragging out no damn 8-month stories on this show. It don't work.
Yeah, especially when everybody know the damn outcome of it.
It's only a few, right? There's only a handful of characters, and they only rotate in the same ones are mostly on screen every day. And you put the same ones on screen with the same words in the same office, saying the same shit to the same people. It was
Yep. It was terrible. And
it
Amaya
was
made a
terrible.
good point. We didn't even get a B and C story when this was going on, which made it even worse.
Even worse.
It was the same story day in and day out, Monday through Friday. Whatever interruptions you had, you didn't care because you was like, that was the day I ain't got to go check the recap and see what this shit was because I'm sure as hell not watching it. So I'm hoping that they took lessons from that.
Yeah,
Lessons
they
as
had to because look how long Stan's story is. He
It
got killed
started,
in April, and we finna get a reunion at the end of this month, beginning of August. So I could
and
deal
really
with
now,
that.
and that's a
And we
exactly
different
just found
story.
out he was
Finn being
alive in June, right?
right
That's what I'm saying. That's a
at the
different story.
time.
Finn being shot in April,
Exactly.
but he
Yeah,
didn't come back on screen until June. So
June,
his
And
right?
that
story didn't
was
start until June, and this
and
is
that
about to wrap
was
up
the
at the end of July.
and that was the
Mm-hmm.
key to keeping this story alive. The fact
Mm-hmm.
Right.
that they kept the question mark about Finn's
Him being a
fate
dead.
in the
Mm-hmm.
air. Had they told
Exactly.
us the week of April 2nd that Finn was alive, people would be so aggravated right now because
Yep.
Waiting
that
on
would
us
have
to, right. And that's exactly
Yep.
what they did with the Beth story. They literally
Yep.
told the whole, yep, and her name is Hope. I mean, they told the whole damn thing. I mean, so it
Exactly.
was just like, it was trash. I was
It's
like,
like SB Writer just said, we were just sitting there waiting on the day for a step to get hurt.
exactly there
we
was
was and
nothing for
waiting on
us
it
to
to be
discover.
to end. We all know what was going to happen. It was garbage.
Exactly.
Exactly. There was nothing for us to discover, nothing for us to wait on, nothing, no development that we needed to see. The whole story was already overdone and told. We just
Yep.
needed the people on the freaking canvas to realize that, and we was just sitting there marking time, getting pissed off along it took.
It's like watching paint dry in a rainstorm.
And this story is nothing like that.
No, it's
Nothing
not.
like that. It
It's
started
well,
out with a bang, with
it's
two
well,
people
it,
shot in an alley with blood coming out of them, to one dead, amnesia. I mean, it just kept right. It was paced. It's probably the best paced story I've seen.
that they've had
I
in
mean,
quite a
I
long
even got
time.
tired of the Carter story because Carter spent those 3 weeks in there telling Quinn how much he loved her before running off in there to propose to Paris.
Oh
This has
yeah.
been one of the
See,
best
the
stories they put
problem
together.
The problem with Quarter was that for the Quarter story to be paced correctly, it had to play in tandem with Derek. And the longer they drug that shit out with Eric meeting Donna in the bungalow 24, whatever the hell it was, with his disgusting ass. The longer they drug that out with him doing that and playing in Quinn face, and then what was going on with Quarter, the more aggravated people got because you wanted Derek to hurry up and be exposed and get that the hell out of the way so that we could see Quarter do whatever the hell it was going to do. So that, yeah, if we had not had all that BS with Donna and Eric and him playing in her face all that time, because that really did take way too long. Um, if they had not had it set up as in tandem with that, meaning that Derek had to be exposed before Quarter was even allowed to move on to whatever was next, it might not have played out so bad. But I figure, they're getting their pacing, they're getting their footing. So I'm hoping that I believe that they've learned some lessons from their past mistakes and they're trying not to make those same mistakes when it comes down to pacing and constructing their stories and how they run.
Well, whoever is got their hands in the pie, I
Mhm.
think that what they're doing now is that they're doing a great job either way. They're lining up, I think, and pacing up the show to what they. I think somebody else has a whole nother
Idea.
outlook for the show
I
and
think so.
the direction, because we just had a whole shaking of the table basically, let's say with coupling, let's say with Quinn and Eric, Carter and Quinn, I don't even know what we're gonna do with Zoe at this point, don't care.
You
But
mean
we
Paris?
have, yes, yeah, Paris. We still have Bridge, unfortunately. Taylor and Deacon out here. I think that whoever put their hands in the pot, they took a look and said, okay, this is where I want it to go, but in order for that to happen, I have to have it in this place. So I think we got a shaking of the table for whoever is taking over, for him to put the characters where they want them to be, so he can send them where he wants them to go. So I am very interested in everything that happens next right now. That's why Billy is a big concern. Hey baby, my son came home. Billy is a big thing, and also what's going on with Taylor.
Exactly.
So
We got things to
I
look forward
believe
to.
that, yeah, we're in for a lot of different and change. We have already seen it. We've been enjoying it since April. I think it's going to continue.
I think it will too. I think they're hitting a stride, and I think they're going to want to keep it because, like we talked about before, they're nipping at Young and the Restless heels, and I think they want to keep it that way. They
Yeah.
want to keep
Right.
the momentum. They want to keep people interested and tuning in to see what's going to happen next. Now, and I also brought up Young and the Restless for a specific point. Does anybody else want to talk about this bullshit with Ashley, or is it just me?
You talking about the spoiler?
Not just the spoiler. I'm talking about this foolishness about how the Newmans still have not successfully figured out how to cover up a murder yet. Accidental. Nick has been connected with messed up bodies showing up in bad places since 1996 when he decided he was going to get Matt caught for raping Sharon. And he ain't got no sense. Victoria just exactly. So this mess, the Newmans have worked my last nerve. One, because first of all, not to be mean about social media, but sometimes social media is too damn sensitive about things. Okay? Everybody has their own interpretations of what we see on screen. Now, we'll disagree on points. Some people will see things one way and some people will see things other ways. The whole confrontation that happened with Ashlyn and Victoria, I was disgusted with Victoria and aggravated with Ashlyn because I'm like, okay, obviously you've lost your mind. Victoria, you don't have no common sense because you don't have the ability to listen to nobody, not either one of your brothers, not even your ex. You don't want to listen to nobody. People told you this man is dangerous and that y'all have kind of gone so far with him that he is looking to take a strip off y'all hide for the bullshit that been going down. The $250 million is the least of the problems that he has with you. And he knocks on you. He shows up on your veranda in a windstorm of some sort. Apparently they have windstorms in Wisconsin. I have no idea. I've never been. I'll just take them at their word. And you gonna open the door and let him in. This is after these people then told you, look, he ain't right. He trashed his hotel room. He is really pissed off. I would not have opened that door for all the tea in China. And then when they get into this nasty argument where they both score points, because like for one, I ain't even gonna lie, I agree with Ashley. When he said I should have left your ass in that car, I was like, you probably should have.
Yep. That's really what made her mad. That's really what he said, that he should have just left me in the car. Yeah, because he made the choice to save either you or Ray, and Ray is dead, and you still here being a dumbass.
Exactly. I'm like, how you thought? And then it was the incredulousness on her face when he actually insulted her and read her ass for filth like that. I'm like, Victoria, you took the man, because the bottom line is this. Your daddy paid him to get the hell out of your life and the hell out of his own company. That $500 million was a legal transaction. He got paid to walk away from his company and from you. Call it whatever you wanted. You paid the man for his goods, to leave you alone and to leave his entire company with the Newmans. He gave $250 million away to Nick because he was busy being a simpleton and trying to, make up for something. But then you went and you conned him out of the other $250 by embezzling it from a joint account that you both had. So you have now affected, your daddy paid him to go away, but then you turned around and robbed him because you was in your feelings about trying to. I agree with Adam. He said it right. You went and got that. She went and got that money so she could kiss Victor's ring with it.
Yep.
Okay,
that's about my father's money back. That was what it was about for her, was get. And I told y'all that before she even came up with all that dumbass shit. It was about getting all of Victor's money back. They should have left that man alone because he chose to give half of what they gave him to Nick because he felt bad. And he still loved Victoria, and he felt like maybe he could salvage something of their relationship if he made a good faith offering of giving back half the money. I mean, I'll give back half of the money. I don't give all of it back because y'all paid me to leave, and I still ain't got my company. So I got to have something for not having my company, but I'm going to give half of it back. But girl, I still want us to be great. We can still do great things together. And she took that and did what she wanted to with it. And they set that man up to make it look like he was out there stalking that little boy. and he done went and spent the night in jail, I say whatever happens, happens. Let loose the Loch Ness monster.
Let the chips. I was like, let the chips fall where the hell they may.
Right, because they done made up such a big old kerfuffle about how scary he is. Oh, he's worse than Victor. He's such a vengeful, ruthless. Like they wore the damn word ruthless out more than they did when Leanna Love actually wrote the book called Ruthless. Like that was their new reliquary. Well, you know, Ashton Locke is ruthless. I've heard about how ruthless Ashton Locke can be. Do you know Ashton Locke is more ruthless than Victor? Like that's all anybody was saying. And where is it? Where is the ruthlessness? I want to see this man making Victoria tear her hair out by the fucking roots.
I want Victoria with her own room in Fairview when this is over with, because she has pissed me off this entire damn story.
Yeah, I want him to have her in a room somewhere wearing a stylish jacket that fastens in the back. And they have to watch her to make sure that she's not eating the crayons they give her to color with. That's where I want him to leave her.
Honestly, I feel the same way, because my thing is that there is a difference between wanting to get even, and that's the big difference between Victoria and Ashlyn and what went on with this story. She was not satisfied with anything less than completely destroying the man. That's what she wanted. Nothing less than that satisfied her, and that's exactly what she did. She couldn't allow him to walk away from this with anything. Not no money, not no reputation, not even the child he raised. He couldn't be allowed to keep anything because he hurt her feelings.
Right.
That's some narcissistic shit. Because
she was trying to be her daddy too, though. You know, she's trying to be Victor out here in these streets going for people's throats. And she ain't graduated to that level yet. She ain't got her daddy in her to that degree. But that's what she was out here trying to do. Well, I'm just going to go and get my daddy's money back, and I'm going to show Ashlyn. I'm going to completely obliterate. What she told him, I wouldn't think that you'd be too embarrassed and too humiliated to come back around here after what I did to you. You still showing your face.
And then the part that cracked me up, and she had the nerve enough to say, how can you blame me? You did it to yourself. Oh, no, honey, Because the bottom line is this: the price of a broken heart does not entitle you to a person's total to their company for free. Your daddy paid him to leave you alone. Adam was right about that. The whole mess with Ashlyn should have been done with the $500 million. It never ever should have went any further than that.
No.
But it wasn't enough for Victoria, and it wasn't enough for Victor trifling ass either. And SB Ryder said Victoria stole the money, his reputation, his business. They got Kyle to forbid him from seeing his son. And now Victoria just basically wants to walk away like she didn't do anything. Like I'm the victim here. No, honey, you left victim status a long time ago.
Right. You are the drama now, ma'am.
Very much so, yes.
Antagonist now. You are the villain, and you brought all this on yourself. I don't know how anybody feels sorry for her.
I don't. Because all of this mess about you made me fall in love with a man who wasn't, and yeah, I was laughing with Ashley. Said, what, a stronger, younger version of your pappy? Because yes, honey, Victoria has daddy issues.
Yes,
she does.
And the truth is told, and he told the truth, girl. That was the only reason why you was all up interested in this man, because people then told you that he was more ruthless than your daddy was, and it made your little bean flicker. And so that's why you was on to him. That man wasn't even divorced from Tara before she was out there talking about Ashley makes me feel like nobody else has ever made me feel like he sees me. Ashlyn sees me, and I think it's going to be wonderful. Girl, he ain't even seen the damn divorce court yet. But you go head on out here and go on and do what you gonna do. So all of this, she put it on herself.
Yes, she did.
I mean, he did pursue her, but she let him know that the door was open for any time she was ready.
Exactly, and I agree with Stefan. I wish to Lord it would come out that Victoria actually did have something to do with Ray's death, and that Ashley had just used money to cover it up. Let her ass swing, because at this point, this poor little Victoria shit, it don't fly with me.
Because listen, I go back and watch that damn I'll go back and watch that damn scene, and he was talking about how Ashlyn was all over the road and Victoria couldn't help but what happened. And I'm like, but we saw it. We didn't see nobody, coming towards her driving erratically. We barely even saw Ashlyn's headlights in her rearview mirror. So I'm gonna go back and watch it again just to make I don't want to be one of these people that's talking out their asses and saying something that didn't happen, and somebody come up and hit me in the face with some receipts, and then I have to dirty delete everything. But I don't recall seeing Ray driving as erratically as they. Well, he was having a heart attack, so he just passed out and just kind of, the car was swerving on the road because he was having a heart attack. And I just didn't buy it when they said it. Something in there will not let me buy that explanation.
All of us looked side-eyed at it. It's like, hold on, Ray had a heart attack. When the autopsy report came out and said that the accident happened, and the reason the accident happened was because Ray had a heart attack behind the wheel and started swerving erratically, and that's what caused the accident with Victoria and Ashlyn's cause. I was like, really? That's how we gonna play this? Ray just had a damn out of nowhere heart attack, and he's dead. He's gone. We've lost the character and the actor now, and the whole reason it happened was because he had some random ass heart attack, and it didn't have nothing to do with Victoria driving distracted or being pissed off about this whole mess with Ashlyn, and how she had basically made an ass out of herself, and how she had to be rescued from her own bad decision making and all this other shit. None of this don't have nothing to do with it. I was like, talk about a wasted damn opportunity. If you was gonna kill Ray, which they didn't necessarily need to do, y'all wasn't even gonna make no use of it neither. It was a mess. So now that Ashlyn had hit his head on the damn fireplace, now that Nick then punched him out and made him hit his head on the fireplace. Thing is, bottom line is this: the Newmans do not have a case for self-defense. I don't give a damn if they did call a chance, okay? Because which I might add that Victoria didn't even want to do in the first place.
He's not even dead though. They went back and he is risen.
Well, here's the thing: he's not there anymore. But from what I saw in the Canadian look ahead, Victor's ass was on the scene and he knows what happened. So it's not that Ashlyn just stumbled himself out the door and disappeared without a trace. It's that because there's a spoiler saying Victor covers his tracks, you put two and two together and figure out who disappeared Ashlyn out of that living room. And it wasn't Ashlyn.
I still don't want him to be dead. I want
Me
this
neither.
to be some kind of ruse where he is, and maybe he's not dead. He could just be knocked out, and Victor got him down there in that basement where he used to keep the first Michael, who was having an affair with his wife Julia. He might reopen that basement and thrown Ashlyn down there with a plate of rats for dinner, because that's Victor's MO. We've seen him do it before.
I want Ashley to wake up in a shallow grave looking to kick somebody's ass.
It will go right along with him grabbing him between them bars.
I'm here for it.
I'm here for it too. I want Ashlyn to come back from the grave or whatever the hell it is that he's in now and come back looking for the Newmans next. Because at this point, first of all I got to say to Nicholas is you should have stayed your ass at New Hope. That's the first thing. You left the family business for a reason, Nicholas. You left for a reason. And I think it's about time that you got reminded of those damn reasons in spades. You ain't been back in the family business a week and you already got a dead body on the floor at your sister's house. That's good for your ass.
Well, honey, that's why he is even back in the business. They need somebody to take care of the shit. And Adam said, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be doing that anymore. Y'all will figure it out. But I'm going to tell y'all, don't be messing with this man unless y'all are ready to take it to the end.
You know, that is the
Crazy.
only part about this that I approve of, though I'm not necessarily happy with what's going on with him and Sally in this mess right here. The only thing that I truly approve of is that Ashlyn or that Adam said, you know what, I'm out. I'm not having nothing to do with it. Because if he was still involved in the family business, they would have him trying to clean up this mess that Victoria and Nick then made for themselves.
Exactly. And that's why they need Nicholas in this damn family because Adam tapped out. When your henchman taps out, what else is you gonna do but go back and get your OG henchman and seduce him back into the fold? And that's exactly what they did. Is they seduced Adam back into the fold.
Exactly, because Adam, because Adam said, and you said it right. You said it the other day. You said that Victor wants Adam to be the fist in the glove because that's his purpose. He's the enforcer. He's the do dirt man. He's the black. He handles the black bag job that precious little Miss Victoria can't be sully her hands with, or that Nikki can't sully her hands with. But you know what? Adam did right. He dipped out at it, regardless of where he lands or how this all ends up. He left it exactly the right time. Like, oh no, I ain't got nothing to do with the dead Ashlyn Locke. This is on y'all asses. Clean up on aisle 5. Huh.
Right.
Not me. I done turned in my papers.
Well, on that, we gonna end because it's 9:00. We got work tomorrow, and I still got to go and catch up on things that I have not been able to catch up on. But we will get back tomorrow because this is the week of our sin reunion, and I just know we're gonna be screaming for the rest of this darn week.
And we have a lot because that's the thing. For the first time, well, not first time, but this week is pretty much must-see TV the whole week. There is not a boring day. There is not a wasted day. Tomorrow we got Trench heading off to Monte Carlo to do
no hearing.
And yes, no hearings to interrupt anything. So let's see what's gonna happen. Because when we left off today, Finn had woke his ass up like he came back from the grave and grabbed that wrist. Let's see if he's gonna break it.
Yes. This is what we were waiting for.
Well, you guys, I will see everybody back here tomorrow. Thank you guys for showing up to chat. SB Writer over there holding down the YouTube.
Yeah.
And you guys, Amaya, Miss Queen, Libra, Stefan, if you're still on. We lost Reginald a while ago. But thank you guys. We'll do it again tomorrow.
Exactly. Thanks for having a space for us. And we'll see you tomorrow.
We appreciate it, Bubbles, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.
All right,
good night.
Good night.